Welcome back to what Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Grille, the Tier 5 German SPG, and we're located on the south spawn of Serene Coast under the command of Major Nuisance. Yes, it's my alternate account, and you may have just seen a video which I put up where I was playing this very Grille in the previous battle, because I immediately went into battle again because I noticed that I was very close to getting this tank first marked. So, very next battle, this is what happened. And the game has started. Well, I've got a 15cm howitzer based on a marble chassis, and I'm getting repeatedly banged by a T-3485 who doesn't appear to know where to go. Well, I'm going over to the west side of the map, alongside an M44. Get better results from this side. He's going off behind the trees. I'm headed off towards this corner. And I'm parking behind this bush here. And that's my firing position. So I'm now aiming for the corner where I expect the enemy to turn up. This is where the mediums normally turn up on the west side of the map. And yes, they've turned up straight away. Before I was ready, there's a Cromwell B there, and I'm dialing in on him. And he's still stationary, so I fire a round in and I splash him for 109 and stun him. And he's taking fire, so I picked up some stun assists. And that T-67, he almost turned over on that rock, and he's just been wiped out by our bishop. Now a tree went over here, so I'm expecting that one of the enemy tanks that just went unspotted is just over here, and I think it might be the Cromwell. So I've dialed in on this position, marked it with my map, with my marker, and there's the Cromwell B. So I fire a round in and get a hit again, and he's killed immediately afterwards. So I got 204 damage and 80 stun assist. Okay, now a T-25-2, or T-25-2, a 25 TP rather, a 25-ton Polish tank was seen up there, but here's an AT-2. Now we can see that that's a Tier 5 British tank destroyer. And he's remarkably slow normally to drive around. So I've dialed in, almost there, ready to go. Round out, straight away, and I kill him! And it was a blind kill as well. Now, 25 TP moved, and he's gone up to that little hill. So I'm dialing in and waiting for the reload to complete. Almost there. Mark the target. He's pulling back. Now that's because one of our tanks is approaching, so I fire in ahead of him, and yeah! Hits him smack on his front, 184 hit points, and that's my second kill. Okay, we've got an OI, two OIs, one's an OI and one's an OI experimental, and they're over on the peninsula, so I'm going to go after this OI experimental, help my team out over there. First round out, hits the OI experimental for 198 and stuns him. And he's receiving fire from my teammates. I think that was from the Bishop. And I noticed the KV-1 and the T-34 have moved around the corner. The Type T-34, which is the Chinese version. And I'm going to go for that KV-1 first. I've marked him as my target. Round out. Hits his engine bay for 171 and tracks him. He's still stationary, and I'm still marking my target to let the team know. Only a few seconds to go. 20.28 seconds is the reload on this Grille. Working out where he's headed. Round out ahead of his path, but he stops suddenly. My shell lands directly behind him, but it probably splashed him. OI Experimental's come around this corner as well, so I'm going to aim around at him. He's pulling back just slightly. Work out where he's going. Oh, he stopped. Okay, right, and there's the KV-1. He's low on hit points now. Round out, and oh, well, 22 hit points off the KV-1. But he's still stunned, and so's the OI Experimental. Going after the KV-1. Well, he's just been killed by our M44, so I'm going to go for the OI Experimental this time. Work out where he's going. This round should hit. Oh, it just misses him. RNG said no and put the shell behind him. But he's stunned. He's pulling forward. Lining up a shot from where I think he's going. And he stops behind that wreck. So I'm dialing in. Round out on the position he was last seen in. And he's still there. And he's been wiped out. That means there's only 5 enemy left. There's 6 on our team, and we've got a T-150 as our next target, and he's guarding the south approach to the enemy cap area. So I'm going to plant a shell in directly on that 150, and I think that was the Bishop just hitting him. Round out on T-150. Long flight, lands behind him and tracks him, but does damage of 138. The Churchill 7's moving up, and he's stunned the 150. And he's just been taken out by the Churchill 7. That means there is only 4 enemies left. 3 Artys and a medium. And I've decided they're out of range, so I'm going to have to move up to get shots on them. The Bishop's moving up as well. The M44 doesn't have to. He's got the range to shoot over the entire map. Now, we've also know that there's a Fifi in the enemy team. The 105 FH-18B2, a Grille, and a Hummel. The medium tanks are P-43 Biz, and he's actually in sight at the moment. The Churchill 7 can see him. I'm just pulling up here because I'm now well within range of that P-43 Biz, and I'm also in range to hit that Leffy. There he is. Oh, I saw a tracer from the Leffy there, and there's the Hummel. He's just come into view. He's dead. Right, we'll have a quick look at the P-43. Can I get a shot on him? Yes, I can. Trying to get a solution. Round out on the P-43. Lands behind him for 101. Lining him up for another one. I don't need to worry. The Bishop got him. Now, the Fifi was seen over here. And there we saw the tracer from him again. And I'm dialing in on that position and reloading. Round out straight away. I saw the tracer again. He fired. And I got the kill. A blind kill on the Fifi. And the Grille's been seen. He's moving. He's the last enemy alive. And there's only Arty versus Arty now because all the tanks have been wiped out. So it's down to the Artys to save this game. It's 3 versus 1. A Grille versus a Grille, Bishop and M44. But unfortunately for that Grille, he doesn't know that it's me that's playing. And I've teamed up platoon with the Bishop. He's got 3 kills. I've got 4. And that means if we can win this, we get a brothers in arms. Well, I'm going to move up to the enemy cap area and try and find him. And I think the Bishop's moving up as well. M44 is now moving. Oh, Grille's been found. Okay, I've found a parking space here. I can now shoot at that Grille. There he is. And I've got him side on, so there's no way that I'm going to miss this shot. Dialing in. 2 seconds. 1. Complete. Now. Kill shot. Wins the game. 5 kills. And we complete it. We get our brothers in arms. So let's have a look and see what the end of battle stats said for this battle. And yes, I did get it. I got the second ace, because you can see it's the laurels underneath with no scrolls. This is the second ace that this Grille has had, but I also managed to pick up the first mark of excellence for it as well. With the same battle, I managed to get at least 1.5% to pick up and get that 65% I needed to get the first mark. I also got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. I got 5 in total. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. I got 15. A brothers in arm for being a platoon with somebody else who had at least 3 kills on the enemy during that game, and of course the Bishop did get 3. And lastly, I got the High Calibre yet again in the game, and a win 8 of 5819 during that game. So let's have a look at the team score, see where we came out. Well, we're top of the table on damage, 1,744 hit points of damage. The next highest scorer was actually our Churchill 7 with 1,637. And the next Sky scorer after that was the enemy Fifi, managed 1,601 hit points of damage. So he was very busy, and you could see those shells popping out every 8 seconds or so, every 12 seconds or so at our teammates. So you knew that he was busily trying to do as much damage as he could to stave off the enemy attack, but it didn't help him in the end because we did manage to work out where he was and shoot him. So when you look at enemy kills, yes, it was me at the top of the table again. I got 5 kills, just one short of getting that top gun. The next highest scorers was the Churchill 7 and the Bishop both got 3, and also the enemy Grille who managed to get 3. Pity that we couldn't platoon with the Churchill 7, because it would have been nice to actually have 2 teammates who also managed to get 3, because then, you know, you spread the brothers in arms love around and everyone gets a medal. But in this case it was only for the Bishop, because he was the last one alive who also had that number of kills. When it came to base XP, yes, you can see I've got a clean sweep, top of the table on all 3 categories, 1,176 base experience points in that game. I certainly did knock them about. The Churchill 7 got 908, the Bishop managed to get 785, and RM44 followed up with 507. If we look at the detail report, we can see that I fired 14 rounds during that battle, more than in the Tundra game. I got 6 direct hits, no penetration though, everything was done with splash. I did 15 splashes during that game, and that's because a lot of the enemy tanks were close together at the same time, so obviously I hit more than one tank at the same time. I did damage of 1,744 hit points, and all of it was at more than 300 meters. I damaged 9 of the enemy but killed 5 of them, and did damage assistance of 417 hit points and stun assistance of 631 hit points off 10 stuns. On the credit side, I earned 45,074 credits from that battle, got 22,537 from the holiday ops, and also 5,409 for completing a mission and events. So my total came to 73,019 credits, and after ammunition resupply, I actually walked away with 65,949 credits. I got 1 bond for getting the high caliber, and 1,764 XP, 212 for completing the holiday ops, a personal reserve for 1,764 for 100%, and my total takeaway was 3,740 overall. So you can see 2 very consistent games in the Grille. I did stop playing it directly after that because I wanted to play other Arty as well. Each Arty has its own characteristics, and if you're a dedicated Arty player like myself, then you just enjoy playing all of the Arty for different reasons, because each Arty has its own peculiarities which we all enjoy. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.